Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another discussion video. Now, this week's been pretty calm when it comes to news, Atlus news, so I decided to do a full-on, unscripted discussion video. We've been chatting in the Discord, and I've been talking with people around Twitter and social medias about what's next for Atlus in 2021 post E3. So this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, of course, what we know that is coming for the end of the year, and also predictions for what we don't know yet. I have reasons to believe certain things will happen before the end of the year, so this is what I want to talk about today. Now, first up, I just want to mention I don't need anything else from Atlus this year. Shin Megami Tensei 5 seems like it's going to be the best thing ever in years, for me at least. The trailer that we got at E3, or the trailers that we got at E3, plus the Treehouse, plus the gameplay that Atlus Japan gave us on YouTube the day after, which we streamed on the channel. Everything looks awesome. Character designs look awesome. The gameplay looks fluid. The game looks beautiful as hell for a Switch game. So I'm hyped and I cannot wait for Shin Megami Tensei 5, November 12th, 2021. Of course, the collector's edition, the pre-orders, all of that was a big mess. But now that this is out of the way, we can just look forward to the release of the game in November. I certainly am. Now, when it comes to SMT5, my prediction is that we're going to be very surprised and blown away by the sales numbers once this game comes out. Now, if you don't know, mainline Shin Megami Tensei is not a big seller like Persona is. You know, Persona 5 sold over 3 million copies, while the best-selling Shin Megami Tensei game, mainline game, is actually SMT4 on the Nintendo 3DS, and the game, once it was all said and done, sat at around 850,000 copies sold. Don't quote me on the exact number, but it's around that. It didn't top 1 million, and I'm pretty sure it's not under 700k either. So that's around 800k for SMT4, which is not that big when it comes to sales numbers. Now, when you look at a console like the Nintendo Switch, well, the thing is doing miracles, and the system has an attach rate for software which is amazing. Like, it's extremely high. You know how the PSP sold a lot of consoles? There's a lot of PSPs out there. Well, the attach rate, if you don't know what that is, it's the ratio of games that people buy for the system. For example, if the attach rate is 12, that means the average of games that PSP console owners are buying is 12 games per system, which is pretty good. Well, the PSP has an attach rate that's very, very low, and the Switch, on the other hand, has an extremely high attach rate. So that's why we're seeing games, smaller games, such as like an Octopath Traveler, selling over 1 million copies. And it's been that way for multiple games. Like Pikmin, for example, has been a very niche series for years, and on Switch, easily and instantly, the Pikmin 3 Deluxe, the best-selling game in the series. And it's that way for multiple games. Fire Emblem, Three Houses did the same thing. Zelda Breath of the Wild did the same thing. And of course, I expect SMT5 to do the exact same thing. I expect Shin Megami Tensei 5 to quickly and easily be the best mainline SMT game. Can SMT5 outsell Persona 5? Well, I made a video on the subject months ago, like probably almost a year ago, and the answer is still the same. Persona 5 has an appeal for casual gamers that is nowhere to be found with SMT. I'm talking about characters design, I'm talking about the calendar system, social links, the waifus, etc. So while SMT5 does look amazing, I don't think it has that appeal that Persona 5 has. So I'm not expecting 3 million units, but I really do think it's going to sell 1 million unit very quickly, being the best selling SMT game. So that's my prediction for SMT5. I'm not predicting that we'll see any type of DLC this year or anything like that, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes to the other stuff, I know this is probably why you guys are here, the Persona series. What's up with the Persona series? Are we gonna get any type of announcement this year? Well, if you don't know, this year in September, it will mark the 25th anniversary of the Persona series. And before 2020 wrapped up, there was various different peeps at Atlus that teased interesting projects and said that we should look forward to exciting projects and reveals, releases for the Persona 25th anniversary. Now, on the day of recording this video, we're halfway through the year and nothing. Literally nothing for Persona. So people are wondering what's up with that, and I have my prediction, which is a very accurate prediction of what I think is going to happen and what we should expect for the Persona 25th. Now, as I mentioned, the anniversary month is September, so I do think that two things will happen in September where we could get some information and reveals for Persona and 2021. Yes, the first thing that happens in September is Tokyo Game Show. Now, Tokyo Game Show, if you don't know, is basically the Japanese E3. This is where Japanese devs and publishers unveil their new projects, their upcoming projects. And Atlus and Sega is always at the show. Last year, it was a pandemic, so the show was pretty boring. We streamed the thing. I will 100% stream it again this year, but this thing, I think it's gonna be better. Just like E3, there was some little shows last summer, but no E3, and this year E3 was back, and it was arguably a decent show. Microsoft was alright, and Nintendo was awesome. The rest was so still not that great because of the pandemic, but all of that to say, I think Atlus will have a presence at Tokyo Game Show, and I think we could see some Persona announcements at Tokyo Game Show. Now, the second event where I think we could get some news is, of course, a concert, a music concert. Atlus is always up for concerts and revealing stuff at concerts. The last one that we got was the Super P Live concert for Persona, and that was in 2019. And of course, this is where they revealed Persona 5 Royal and Persona 5 Strikers, or Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, which would be coming later down the line. So two massive reveals for Persona at the same concert. Now, I think we're gonna get a 25th anniversary concert in September for the anniversary, and I expect some announcements at this particular concert, which have yet to be announced. Now, the real question is, what is Atlus going to reveal at Tokyo Game Show and at the concert for Persona? Well, I do think they could reveal certain things, such as new games and or ports. Now, the one thing that I was very confident about was, of course, Persona 3, which would be revealed for PC, and I was expecting this reveal to be at PC Gaming Show 2021. Now, of course, when they dropped the schedule for PC Gaming Show and Atlus, unlike last year, was not on the show, well, I was pretty confident that we would not get Persona 3 on PC at PC Gaming Show. I even reported on that. Now, I was correct, it was nowhere to be found. Does that mean there won't be anything for PC? I'm not too sure. I still think we are going to get Persona 3 on PC at some point, whether it's revealed at TGS or at the concert. We will have to wait and see, but I think Persona 3 for PC is going to happen at some point. Now, there's also speculations for Persona 4 Golden, which could be revealed and released on other systems, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I think that's a definite possibility too for Persona 4 Golden. Now, certain people will ask about Persona 5. Well, P5, I don't really know. I mean, can it run on the weakest system out there, being the Switch? It can, since P5R, Persona 5 Royal, is using the same engine as Catherine Full Body, and Catherine Full Body on Switch is a flawless port. So yes, it can run. It's the real question is, will they put the game on Switch? Is it something that's likely? I don't think it's gonna happen this year, and personally, I don't expect any type of Persona ports to the Switch this year. All eyes are on Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I'm very, very confident that Atlus wants SMT5 to be the focus and to be the center of attention when it comes to their upcoming releases. So if they reveal a Persona 5 that would release in October for Switch, it would definitely cause issues with SMT5, which is their next big thing. So I do think P4G could come to consoles at some point, but I don't really think it's that likely for this year per se. I think it may happen later down the line. P5 and Xbox, I know that's something that was very rumored recently. It was in a lot of rumors and talks, all of that. I still think it's happening. It was not at E3 this year. The one big JRPG that I teased and that I heard was coming to Xbox was actually Yakuza Like a Dragon. And amazing game, by the way. You guys should all go check it out. Easily one of the best games of last year in my opinion, so you guys should go check that out. But I still think Microsoft is ready to sign a big fat check to Atlus to get P5 and P5R on Game Pass, so I think that's gonna happen at some point. I'm not too sure when either. I don't think this is the type of announcement that we'll get at the concert or at TGS. What I do think could happen at this concert is a Persona 6 tease. I know some of y'all will be like, what bro, you're serious? Yes, I am. Persona 6 has been in development since 2019. That's been explicitly confirmed. And if you look at the release, if you look at when they started development on P5 and when they first showed it at TGS in like 2013, it completely matches. It started dev in like 2011 or something, and they showed it in 2013. Don't quote me on the dates, I'm going on the top of my head. I don't remember the exact dates. It was around 2 years, and we're around 2 years once again. I think they are ready to show it. I don't think we'll get gameplay, I don't think we'll get a release window or date or anything like that, but I think we will get a nice little PNG, of course, just like a Metroid Prime 4 or Bayonetta 3 or even P5 with the 5 chairs. I think we're gonna get some type of tease like that at the concert or at Tokyo Game Show this year. Not a focus at all, but a small teaser with no dates and no gameplay. I think this is something that we can expect this year for sure. That would be a great way to celebrate the 25th and would get people excited about Persona again. Now, another topic, another game that has been heavily rumored is of course P5U. That was trademarked by Atlus Japan recently, and P5U stands for, or at least people think it stands for, Persona 5 Arena. I have a lot of reasons to believe that P5 Arena is not happening, or at least is not being made by Arc System Works, because they are working on a ton of other projects and they're as big as they've ever been now, way bigger now than they were back in the P4 Arena days. So I don't know if Atlus would work with Arc Sys again, but maybe they're working with another developer for an arena fighter. I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't have any type of insider information or anything. I'm just speculating here, but P5 Arena or some type of P5 spinoff do seem likely for me, especially with the massive success of Persona 5 Strikers. The game sold extremely well, so yes, I do expect Persona 5 to get some type of other spinoff in the near future, possibly an announcement this year for the 25th anniversary. Now, of course, what's a 25th anniversary? What's the celebration of an anniversary if you don't go back to your roots? So yes, there is some certain people that are speculating that we will see Persona 1 and 2 duology brought back to life in 2021. Now, as much as I would like that, I don't really see it happening anytime soon. I don't think they will do a complete remake of those games because that would require way too much work, and I'm not too sure Atlus wants to put that much work into remasters, right? You guys know what I mean? So I'm not too sure about those games. What I think could happen is maybe they port those games to modern system, just straight ports, PlayStation 1 ports, or PSP ports if we're lucky. I think that's something that could happen for sure, but not remix. I would expect very little low effort or no effort ports to modern systems and PC, especially PC. I really do think those games should come back. Those games age pretty well, in my opinion, especially Persona 2 Duology. I played Innocent Sin this year. I'm still playing through it, replaying that game, and it aged very well. So you upscale those games to HD, put them on modern platforms, I think it would do well. Once again, is that likely? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Now, my last prediction is Project Re Fantasy. Now, if you don't know, a ton of developers that were behind Persona, including Hashino, which he's the director of Persona 3, 4, 5, he moved on to work on Project Re Fantasy, a brand new IP from Atlus. Now, Project Re Fantasy was revealed like 4 years ago. It was revealed around the same time as SMT5, and it's been in development ever since then. We don't know how large the team is working on Re Fantasy, but we do know, since Ashino confirmed it in December of 2020, that Project Re Fantasy reached its climax in development, meaning that they're like at the peak of development, and now they're basically just making sure that it is a great package overall. They're possibly localizing the project, they're finishing small touches, testing the game, making sure that everything sounds and looks great, there's no bugs, etc. They're in the final steps of this game, and we haven't seen anything from it. Plus, he also said that we should look forward to news in 2021 for Re Fantasy, and we haven't seen anything yet. Now, when I hear talks about a new Atlus IP, I always think about a Catherine and how much I love this game, so I cannot wait to see more about Re Fantasy. What we do know about Re Fantasy is that it's going to be heavily inspired by tabletop RPGs. It's going to be in a medieval setting too, which means it's going to be very different from anything else Atlus. And when you look at who's working on the project, it's exciting, and I really cannot wait to hear more about Re Fantasy. I think we get some type of small teaser with maybe a release window, even maybe some type of 2022 release window. I think that could be great for sure. Again, I'm not expecting a massive blowout of information, simply because if they show Re-Fantasy this year, it's going to be at Tokyo Game Show, and I don't expect Atlus to show gameplay and go hands-on with Re-Fantasy for Tokyo Game Show 2021, because Shin Megami Tensei 5 releases 2 months after the event. So not too likely, but I still think it's possible we see a tease and maybe even a 2022 release window at Tokyo Game Show this year. So overall, that are my predictions. I know some of y'all will ask me about SMT. Do I think we're gonna get anything else SMT? Not this year, definitely not. Once again, all eyes are on SMT 5, the next numbered mainline installment in the SMT series, so I don't think they're gonna do another HD remaster this year. Now, of course, I do think we are going to get in 2022 another remaster, being Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 HD remaster. Now, DDS is reusing a ton of models from Nocturne. Nocturne was put in Unity for the HD remaster port, so I expect Atlus to just use that same team and make them port DDS 1 and 2 to the Unity, and then drop a $60 compilation of DDS 1 and 2 next year, especially since DDS is fully voiced, so they don't even have to do voice acting, which is probably the most expensive part. Nocturne HD sold well in Japan, and looking at sales chart, it sold well in the West too, so I fully expect DDS 1 and 2, but I think we have to wait a bit longer, that being next year for DDS. So those were my predictions, guys. I definitely am curious to hear, what are you guys expecting for this year? Post E3 predictions for Atlus. What are your predictions? Do you think they'll go all in with the 25th anniversary of Persona? Do you think we'll see Re-Fantasy this year? And of course, are you excited for SMT 5 later this year in November? I know I am very excited, and I hope you guys look forward to the content that I have. If you're new to my channel, I cover any type of news when it comes to Atlus, Shin Megami Tensei, and Persona. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe, and most importantly, ring the notification bell to never miss out on any type of news. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.